Hello, I'm Peralt Paul with the Enterprise Innovation Institute at Georgia Tech. The Enterprise Innovation Institute is Georgia Tech's economic development arm, and today I'm joined by Lynn Henkel, who's the director of our Innovation Ecosystems Group, and Julie Galemi, who is the manager for the Soft Landings program at Georgia Tech. So Lynn, you were instrumental in getting the Soft Landings program launched in 2016. Can you tell us a little bit about what the program is and what was the catalyst for getting that started?
Sure. Thanks, Peralt. As Innovation Ecosystems Director, I would field questions from companies and economic development representatives all about expanding to the United States. And they would always ask about various laws, site availabilities, manufacturing capabilities, clients, things like that. And I would connect them with various resources and connections within my network. But I realized there wasn't a single place where people could go to that would give them the whole comprehensive tools and information that they needed to make this decision.
So a lot of folks might say, well, every state, including Georgia, has an economic development agency or department. So how is Soft Landings different from what the state's already doing, or how does it enhance what the state's doing?
So that is true. Georgia, like the rest of the nation, all have economic development departments tasked with recruiting companies and expanding into Georgia and explaining why Georgia is such a great location for business development and expansion. With the Soft Landings program at Georgia Tech, we aren't competing with the state's efforts. In fact, we are in a complementary role because what we're doing is we're trying to enhance what the state is already doing. Through our program, we are taking the decision makers of these companies through an evidence-based, proven methodology. Expanding into the market, especially the US market, is not to be taken lightly. So our program is designed so that once they are through the program, they have all the tools they need to make the best possible informed decision about expanding to the US market. Our program is an offering of Georgia Tech's economic development arm, and the Enterprise Innovation Institute houses the program, which is the nation's largest and most comprehensive group in a university setting in the state of, and it's, of course, it's the state of Georgia.
Okay. So Julie, as program manager of Soft Landings, what does the curriculum entail? Can you sort of take us through what that process is like?
Sure. Hi, Peralt. I'll be happy to expand on what Lynn said. This is a 10-week program where participants go through a series of virtual workshops where a number of important topics are covered, including business model canvas, customer discovery, and then we talk about issues pertaining to doing business specifically, such as accounting in the US, such as accounting, immigration, contracts, how to have some partnership deals, and equally important, understanding the US business culture. Each workshop or each topic is led by a subject matter expert who helps these companies navigate what they need to know to make the best informed decision before committing to expanding in the US market. And of course, these workshops are about 45 minutes at length, so it's going to be a high-level presentation, but at least the participants will get an idea and will get some important information on these topics, and then we discuss them later on during the immersion week, which is an important component of our 10-week program. During the immersion week, companies are physically here in Atlanta for 1 week, boots on the ground, networking, customer discovery, and further discovering of the US market. Like I said, during the virtual workshops, we touch upon some of the important things pertaining to each topic, but we bring back the experts to expand further on those topics during the immersion week. So we have 8 weeks of virtual workshops, immersion week, and then another week of virtual workshop, or another virtual workshop.
Okay. So you kind of anticipated my next question about the immersion week. Why is it so critical for them to sort of physically be here in Atlanta or in Georgia? What's the benefit of them being here?
So the practical knowledge tools shared with participants during the virtual workshops are important. However, coming to Atlanta where they can meet with their fellow cohort members, and more importantly, coming to meet with potential customers, clients, business partners, is a critical step in making the decision on expansion. Actually, I would say that is what makes our program unique to other programs, similar programs around the US. During that immersion week, these companies get to solidify and deepen the relationships that they have established during the virtual workshops, during the online part of the program, and they start building or expanding their networks. And another important part about the immersion week is that while here, these companies learn about the resources they have available at Georgia Tech or through our program partners, economic development partners at the state and the local level.
Okay. So Lynn, obviously 2020 has been dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic, and that's forced a lot of companies, both in the United States and across the world, change their operations. So given the fact that there is an immersion week component to the soft landings program, how has COVID kind of affected what you guys are doing with the program now?
So the good news is our program was virtual a long time ago. So the 10 weeks that we're doing this, without the immersion week, the rest of it has been virtual from the beginning. So that program part of the program has remained totally unaffected.
Okay.
But the immersion week, of course, is being affected, and we're currently trying to figure out the best way to execute that. We don't want to lose that piece of the program. We think it has extreme value to our customers. So we're evaluating alternatives right now to ensure that we have the safety and well-being of our clients in mind when we're doing this. So we still want to have the immersion week. We think it's of great value, but we still have not quite figured out. And I don't think until we understand how all COVID is working out, how it will be. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Julie, to go back to something you said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the program is a very methodical process that the company executives are taken through to go about making the right decision about expansion or not. So does that mean some companies might say, yes, let's expand. Others might say, no, it's not right for us, or what's that like?
Okay. That's a great question, Paral. Our program provides these companies with guided market research that helps them get to a decision quickly about what it takes to expand in the US market and whether it makes sense for them to take that step. So yes, going through our program, there have been some participants or some companies that they realized that expansion was not the right move for them. Others decided that they were looking to move to the US or expand their operations in the US, but not at the moment or not when they were going through the program. And then others had decided to hold off. So some of them held off. Others decided that they were going to expand, but that wasn't the right time. And then we had some companies that swiftly were taking some active steps to expand in the US quickly after the program. That's why we think that we believe the soft landings program at Georgia Tech, our program, is so critical into the decision-making process because, again, within a short period of time and companies can effectively and actually with limited financial resources, they could reach the decision quickly.
Okay. So then can you give us some examples of some of the success stories of companies that have taken that step and expanded in the US?
Sure. We have a couple of companies I want to mention. We worked with a company from Chile. They at first expanded in the southeastern US, and recently in the past few months, they moved their US operations into the state of Georgia. It has been about a 3-year-long process, but they currently have clients in the US and presence in the US. Another company I wanted to mention is a pharmaceutical company from Central Europe. They are not currently in the US yet. They are going through a process of getting FDA approval for their product. However, we stay in touch with them frequently, and we have heard from them that they have utilized the methodologies that they learned going through our program. They utilize those to expand in other parts of the world. They expanded in India and Asia. And of course, there were other companies that were making efforts in expanding, but with COVID, some of the things have been put on hold. Yeah.
So then, Lynn, I mean, as Julie explained, we have companies from Latin America, we've got companies from Europe, and participants from all around the world. So can you give us a sense of what target industries or what target companies are a good fit for this program?
Sure. So we targeted small and medium-sized enterprises specifically for this program because we decided, after working with other individual programs or other individual companies within other programs, that large companies can afford private consultants. Startups are not ready to expand into another market yet. So we didn't find anything available for small and medium-sized companies who wanted to expand. So that's why we targeted that demographic for this program. So ideally, our participants are usually in a variety of sectors, anything from technology to life sciences to even more traditional industries like manufacturing. And we look to help companies from anywhere in any country who are considering a U.S. expansion.
So, Lynn, obviously business leaders have a lot of demands on their time, a lot of commitments. Can you explain what the commitment level to the Soft Landings program is, and what the expectations are of these executives that come through the program?
So there is a time commitment. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it is very important that if they're signing up these CEOs or CFOs or executive industry leaders, they are doing the work, and it is a time commitment, but it's a very important decision for them to make. So we're trying to give them all the right tools to decide if expansion is the right move for them. We spent a lot of time building our program and streamlining the weeks to focus on the key methodologies and factors so that participating executives can make the most of their time and arrive at the correct decision quickly. It's very cost effective for these companies. They're learning methodologies and acquiring skills in the workshops that they can apply to their business right today as well. And, the U.S. market isn't the only place they can expand to. There's plenty of other opportunities down the road, but this methodology they can apply to any type of market they're looking at.
Okay. So then for those who are interested in learning more about the Soft Landings program or wanting to connect with either you or Julie, how can they go about doing that?
Absolutely. They can visit grow.gatech.edu and click on the Soft Landings button, or reach out to Julie or I by emailing us at softlandings, softlandings, @innovate.gatech.edu.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.